So, what do you think right now are the main institutions or techniques that the oligarchs are pushing to draw men like me away from just the impulse, the instinct of creating a family and into this satisfying your lust urge and fornicating like a rock star? Do you see specific methods that are the most damaging?
Um, education. Education is terrible. Educate, especially for the generation just under yours. Talking about the 20-year-olds. 20-year-olds are in a terrible situation, because of education and because of education debt. Debt is the main thing prohibiting marriage among 20-year-olds, as far as I can tell, just from talking to people. Okay, this was the thing that was driving Occupy Wall Street. I was there. I walked the crowd. Virtually every guy was in his 20s, and he's holding a little card saying, "I'm $50,000 in debt, and all I can get is an unpaid internship." This is a terrible situation. This is a betrayal of their entire generation, and the result is they're being pushed in one of two directions: pushed toward homosexuality, because that enslaves you even more. I have the distinguished the honor, let's put it this way, of having the most famous gay mayor in America, in South Bend, Indiana. His name is Pete Buttigieg. And if you ever wanted to understand the role the homosexuals play in being the proxy warriors of the oligarchs, look at Pete Buttigieg. He has created South Bend now, which was a family type of city, an ethnic type of city, a Catholic city, and he's trying to re-engineer it into basically the homosexual haven. It's like Berlin on the St. Joe River in Indiana. Berlin pioneered this with these narcissistic fantasies of, like, you don't ask for a job, you're the next Steve Jobs. You can have a startup. Well, even Spiegel, and not a magazine I admire, said that startup is another word for low wages. This is all. So why are homosexuals so desirable? Well, because they don't have families and they don't have children, and so therefore they're easy to buy off when it comes to wage time, and basically say, sorry, we're not going to give you a raise, but you can always go to the gay disco and dance away your troubles. So you talk to this generation, and they, for the most part, they don't understand anything. So either they're homosexuals, they're heading off to the gay disco because they don't have a job, or they're in their mother's basement watching pornography, which is another vicious trap that people are just people of their generation are just starting to wake up to. I talked to a 20-year-old just the other day. He said, we're the generation that grew up on pornography because we have these little phones, and we can access it instantly. And they know firsthand, as I said, we said before, in the expensive school of experience, you're a slave. And in a sense, that's a good thing. If you know you're a slave, then you know that you're missing something, and maybe you need to take steps to attain your freedom by getting rid of the things that enslave you. So that's the way I see this in terms of men.
A lot of men that I've talked to say that this free pornography, which they have high production, high definition. These are 3 of the top 10 websites in the United States are porn websites. I don't think that is an accident. I think that it's very available. It's like a soma that keeps men that when they get that impulse on board, they just load up a porn site and they play with themselves. And a lot of men, through this experience and they have noticed that the agenda within the porn, what they're pushing within the porn, these sites are starting to recommend incest. They're saying this is the sister brother sleeping with each other. So this is when men started to wake up. Wait a second. They're using porn as just another method to corrupt me. In addition, when you watch the porn, then you see the women outside who are trying to mimic that too. So what can we do about that? I mean, is there how much can men block out when online and offline sexualized images, sexualized women are trying to keep their mind in the sexual realm?
I think it's possible. There was a time when I thought that this was so powerful that no one's going to break the habit. But I don't think that's the case anymore. I think it's possible. I think in a sense it wears off. I think it wears off. And I think a sign that it's wearing off is that it's free. Why should this be free? Why is anything free? Well, because it's the government wants to promote it, because it's a form of control. Once you understand that, then I think you're on your way to freedom. Now, I am not trying to minimize the vicious nature of bad habits. Okay, they are vicious. They are very difficult to break. I'm just saying that it's possible. And I'm also not trying to say that I have some type of magic pill. I don't have a magic pill. I believe in a supernatural help. I'm a Catholic. I believe in that religion. I believe that religion was created to give you assistance, to get you out of situations you cannot get out of on your own. That's known as grace. And I think that's why the Catholic Church is there. So I'm not going to pretend that I have the magic pill and I can sell it to you. I don't. But I think you can find some type of spiritual help to get out of these problems. And also, there are people in the church who are providing programs, software, whatever you want to call it, that will help you break this habit. But the main issue here is isolation. The pornography leads to isolation, and you need to seek companionship as the antidote to isolation. And I know that's difficult now. It's difficult now because of the situation, but that's the direction you have to go.